Hello, everybody. It is dark outside. The whole day has just flown by, and today is my recording day. I have been so busy this week. Y'all, it is dark outside, but it's really not that late. It's only 6 o'clock, and it's already pitch dark outside. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Lisa with Lisa Capen Quilts. Today, we are sewing the Harvest Sunbonnet Sam to go with Sunbonnet Sue, the applique, right? We're doing raw edge applique today, and there is a tracing file, a PDF down in the description box. It is free through Thursday, November the 16th. And then Friday, the 17th, it gets combined with the cutting files that are already over in my Etsy shop. Y'all know. And so all the links are down in the description box below, right? Sunbonnet Sam. He is toting a pumpkin from the pumpkin patch, and that's what we're doing. And I am going to applique mine on another hand towel today. I say hand towel, it could be a terry cloth towel. It's a kitchen towel, like a tea towel, right? And so that's what we're doing today. Y'all, I love raw edge applique, but you could easily turn this multiple different ways into a turned edge applique project, right? And so yeah, that's what we're doing today. If you want to see what this block repeated a few times would look like as a table runner, let's take a look. And they are off a marching, right? I use the same block and just repeat it, right? But if you did different colored hats, different covered overalls, right? Make it look like several different Sams marching. But isn't that super cute, right? 4 blocks, a little sashing, cornerstones, and a border. You could easily make this into a table runner. You could make a whole quilt with them, right? Okay, so that is the project that you could make with this, or 100 other projects, right? And then next week, stay tuned to make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification right before Thanksgiving, right? We are doing a turkey applique. Isn't he so cute? He's like, hello, popping in to say hello. The little turkey, that's what we're doing next week. So yeah, make sure you subscribe and follow along. Okay. I think that's super cute, don't you? All right. So last week I forgot to record most of the video and realized it halfway through. So we missed a bunch of stuff today, but I've been double checking and we're recording. So we're going to go over to the pressing board. Here we are. Here's the 2 pages of tracing templates for this week, right? And he is equivalent to the same size as Sunbonnet Sue. I have her just sitting off to the side. We did this applique a few weeks ago, right? If you missed this video and you're just now tuning in, there is a playlist link for all the applique videos we've done in the description box, and you can jump down there, click on that link, and all the videos will come up and you'll see her, and you can go and make her as well, right? She's got leaves. So I have a second towel that is exactly the same color, and that's what I'm doing my applique on. I have already cut out all of my pieces, and I used my ScannCut, so that was a lot of fun. And these templates have been mirror imaged. So if you're using a fusible like Heat and Bond at light, like I did, you're ready to trace from this side, right? I actually meant to mirror image my designs in my cutting machine because Sunbonnet Sue is facing in this way, and I want to make a his and her towels, right? She's facing this way, and so is he. So I had thought in my cutting machine, I would just flip all of the pieces, right? And he would be walking towards her. But I forgot to do that. So both of mine are going to be facing this way. And that's fine. Right? All right. Let me just put her off to the side. We'll put her off over there. And I have my placement guide already cut and glued together. I have so much stuff everywhere. Harlan is on travel this week. And I have been working overtime. Y'all, it is the season for just so much work. And it's a good thing, right? But when he's gone, I tend to work day and night. So, yeah, we're hanging out tonight to do this applique. All right, I'm going to bring in my silicone mat, which earlier I gave it a rinse because these little mats are clingy, right? And they tend to collect dust in the air and dust off of our fabrics. And when they're all dusty, the pieces don't really cling to it the way that they usually would, right? So I just rinsed it off. If you find your silicone mat isn't clingy like it once was, take it to the kitchen sink and just run some water and let it air dry. It goes back to being clingy. Not sticky, right? Clingy. All right, so I'm just gonna put him just like that. Let me get this iron warming up. And we have all of these pieces. So I'm gonna just start arranging them like so, right? See how, like last week, I had to hold my pieces with my fingers so they wouldn't move around. My mat was dusty. I'm going to start with all of the pieces that I know are the lowest position, right? So the shoes, the pumpkin, the hands, y'all. Y'all know I love some denim, right? Oh, let me bring in the trunk of the pumpkin. My cat's gonna come over here. Y'all know I love some denim. Do I want that underneath? There we go, like that. I cut his overalls from some denim. And actually, I want that trunk on top of his hand like that. I don't know that it matters too much. And yeah, the ScannCut cut through that denim with the Heat and Bond light on the back side of it. It just went over the design 2 times, right? Cut it right out. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Let's see. He's got some green checkered shirts on. Isn't that just so cute? Like that. And this leg is like that. Yep, that is cute as it can be. I think I had the shirt coming over top of it like that. See that? That forms like his little overalls. So make sure your shirt is on top of the big piece of his overalls. And then the hat comes on like this. That is just too dang cute. Let's go ahead and fuse these pieces. That denim is quite thick, but it's so dang cute. It is thick. So what is the weather like where all of y'all are? Last week was chilly. This week is really kind of nice. I've been on chicken duty. And it's actually been really nice outside. And we have his little patch for his blue jeans, right? It's gonna go kind of like that. I just have to let my iron warm back up. Isn't that so dang cute? I love it. All right, let's hit that. Because the denim is thicker, it takes a little bit more heat to sort of bond through that denim, right? Ordinarily, I wouldn't use my iron this much at this stage because I don't want to overheat the heat and bond light, right? But the denim is just so thick. All right, I think that's gonna be good. We're gonna let this cool off now, right? Adorable. Let's just take a look at this pattern though, because I want to show you. On the patch, there's a couple of lines, right? You could leave them off. It just kind of makes it look like they've been mended, right? The patch is a mend to his overalls. You could do a little hand stitch, a little zigzag stitch, a little satin stitch. You could do multiple of them, right? But that's what those 3 little lines are, to make it look like it's been mended. And then on the pumpkin, there's one more little line right here that you could do, or you could leave it off, just to kind of give it sort of like a round looking shape. You could do it by hand, a nice little, like a back stitch. Or you could do it by your sewing machine. You could do it with a fabric marker if you wanted to, or you could leave that off. But just in case you were wondering about those lines there. And they do show up in the cutting file as well, but I just deleted those, right? Because you don't want to cut those out. But when you open up the cutting file, you will notice that those little lines are there. Just click and delete them. All right, so there we go. Let's open up this tea towel. There's a hanger. All right, the hanger's on that end. And I basically want to put him in the same place as where she is. Just because I like to fold in my tea towels like this just a little bit, right? And so about that much. Okay. We're eyeballing it. Let's see if this is going to lift off as one piece now. There we go. Perfect. And even though it's an orange tea towel, it's a little bit like a burnt orange color. So I just picked a brighter orange for the pumpkin, right? The night light in here is going to be way off. So everything is looking way darker on the screen for you because it's nighttime outside. I have her down about that far, right? And let's scoot him over just a little bit like this. Yeah, that would be great. Let's see, for her, I did a zigzag stitch. So that's what I'll use on him too, so that they sort of just match, right? And on the back, I used a cutaway. Is that a cutaway? Nope, it's a tearaway. So I will use the same tearaway stabilizer on the back side for him. That really worked well. So that's what we're gonna do. And now I'm just going to fuse him right in place. How busy are y'all as we are approaching, not quite, the middle of November with Christmas coming up? I have a t-shirt quilt to make. I have got to get on that this week. I have several quilts to quilt for everybody. Client quilts to quilt. I really wanted to make some bunnies out of clothing for the kids for Christmas. I don't know that that's going to happen. I really wanted to do that. It seems like the days just go by so fast. Before you know it, it's supper time. All right, I think that's really good and bonded. There we go. So we're gonna let that cool off. Now, I'm gonna go put some brown thread in my sewing machine in both the top and the bobbin. And I'm gonna grab a piece of tearaway stabilizer, the same one that I used for her. It's a big sheet and it should just cover him on the back side. So let me go grab that and we'll meet at the sewing machine. Okay, here we are at the sewing machine. I have my tearaway stabilizer underneath and I'm gonna pick a zigzag stitch. Zigzag stitch. And let me test out some before we get started. Okay. All right. So the zigzag stitch settings that I'm going to use, the width is a 2.5 and the length is a 0.9. And I feel like I can go that width and that length for this project because of the tearaway stabilizer underneath, right? So let's see, where do we want to start? I know we want to start with our lower pieces, right? So let's just jump down here to the shoes. I'm going to stitch the shoes, both of those. And then because this is a separate piece and this leg goes in front of the other one by design so that there's, you know, some separation between the two legs like that. I'm going to stitch this leg after I stitch the shoes, okay? And then I'm going to move to the hands. I don't know what my cat is doing back there. Let me pause it and go find out. He is always getting into something. I'm going to have to kick him out. Okay. The cats are up to shenanigans. All right, we're going to go ahead and start some stitching here. was just rethinking stitching the hand shape first. With this arm and the hand, I feel like if I just stitch where the shirt overlaps the hand right there, right? Then I could do one continuous shape from here all the way to where his shirt meets right there. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, yeah, I think that gives a nice, really nice, clean look, right? My cats are all like, well, they're super confused anyway, right? Because of daylight savings time. I'm sorry, the camera, the light catches and overexposes, and then, sorry for the flashing. But they're super confused about daylight savings time and their feeding time, right? So I'm trying to feed them at the same time, but for them, they're starving because it's an hour later. So they're super confused about that the last couple of days. And now I'm working when I should be sitting and relaxing and petting them, right? Or holding them. So they're all shenanigans in the background. Okay, so let's come over here to this hand, and I'm kind of thinking the same thing, right? Let's stitch this line, and then I will stitch from here over there and break the thread, pick back up over here and continue all the way over like that. Let's do that. He's up there cleaning his paws. He is so loud. All right, there we go. Let's figure out where we're gonna go next. I think let's go ahead and stitch the trunk of the pumpkin, and then the pumpkin, and then I will move over and do his overalls, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna do the trunk of the pumpkin, and you know what? I'm gonna do this one little yeah, I'm gonna do this one little part of the shirt right there, right? Because when I do the big part of the overalls, I'm gonna start here and go all the way around and then make this curve right here. And all of that will be one continuous line. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm just using the same zigzag stitch on pretty much everything for this applique. As we start to approach the bottom part of the hat, all we have left to sew down is the little patch and the hat. And the hat is one continuous shape that I can sew all the way around. So I'm not going to break the thread. Once I get to the edge of the hat, I'm going to sew all the way around. You know what? I think for the little patch, I will change to a blanket stitch and make it look like it's hand sewn on, right? Let's see. Let's pick a smaller blanket stitch. That's kind of cute. I'm going to bump it up one notch. Okay, so my blanket stitch that I'm going to use to sew down the patch, the width is 2.8 and the length is a 2.0. And I think that'll be super cute, right? Isn't that just so cute? Now, I think that's all the parts. Yeah, everything is sewn down. You know what's really nice about sewing on these kind of towels is it almost feels like this is quilted. This sort of acts like a batting, even though it's not super, super thick. The stitches sort of sink down into it just a little bit. Not a lot because of the tearaway stabilizer on the back, but just enough to give it a little bit of a quilted feeling. So that's like an extra added bonus. Now let's come over here to the pressing board. There we go. And I'm going to try to fix the light. And sometimes when I put something bright, like paper. Nope. Let me move those things and let me try and fix the light. And actually, I want to go grab something. So I'm going to fix the light so that you can see a little bit better. And I'm going to grab something that's going to help us add a little bit of details to our Sam. Okay, I think that's a lot better, right? A little bit brighter. And I went and I just grabbed some of my fabric markers because I want to add a little bit of shading, right? Not a lot of stuff to it, but just a little bit of shading. And instead of stitching the little detail for the pumpkin there, I'm just going to shade it a little bit. And because my brown thread really, it adds the separation and the definition of this leg that's behind him, right, as he's walking. But I really want to add just a little bit of shading there. Do you ever have a piece where you just wish there was a little bit something there, just a little extra, right? Today I'm going to use some fabric markers. And I'm just going to pick a brown one. And I'm just adding a little bit of shading right in here. See how fast and easy that is? There we go, just like that. And I can even do a little extra like that. You could even draw some lines, right, if you wanted to. I'm going to take this same brown. Do I want to do that? Let's try a blue. A little bit of a darker blue. And I'm just going to add a little bit of shading right in there. Not a lot, just a little bit. What's great about these fabric markers is once they're dry, you can heat set them, right? And they're permanent. So if you wash this, all of that will stay in, right? I'm going to go ahead so that that doesn't just stick out like a sore thumb, right? And just add a little bit of shading in a couple places. Isn't that so cute? I don't want to overdo it. I have a tendency to overdo things. I think that's super cute though. What do you think? All right. Do I want to do anything else? I don't think so. But I wanted to do those things. Now, of course, you could do the little stitch marks like what is in the design. But because I did the blanket stitch, it kind of looks like it is hand stitched on there, right? You know me, I'm always pushing it to the next level. I'm going to bring in a little bit of brown. Just sort of darken that blue up just a little bit. The blue was a little much in those places for me. There, I think I like that much better. There we go. Ooh, I like that line right there, right? You could do the same exact thing if you have some Inktense pencils, which I do. I just grabbed these first. Inktense would do the same thing. And it also would be permanent, right? Just adding a little bit. I'm probably doing too much. There we go. I just wanted to give you also an example of some of the things you could do with just a few little touches of some fabric markers, right? So yeah, have fun and experiment with it, but I think that is super cute, and I'm going to stop while I'm ahead, right? These are, in case you're wondering, the Marvy fabric markers, and yeah, I've had these for several years, and they're still just like brand new, right? Yeah, I'll put a link to them down in the description box. They're the same fabric markers I've been using. Anytime you see me use a fabric marker, these are the ones I use. Okay, so that's dry enough. I can go ahead and just flip this over. And just like her, I am going to just remove the biggest parts of the stabilizer and all the parts on the inside. Just going to let them wash out the first time that I wash this towel, right? The paper's sticking to some places because I used a glue stick this time to keep it in place and make sure that it was covering the entire design. That'll wash out too. There we go. All of these parts here, I'm just going to leave them in. You could remove all of it, right? But I'm just going to let the washing machine take care of that for me. And this right here too, right? That'll come off too. So there he is. Isn't he just the cutest thing ever? I'm trying to slide everything over so I can bring her next to him. So you can kind of just see a good size representation. There he is, and there she is. Super cute, right? I love him. It's like her brother, her little brother, or her boyfriend. One of the two. What do y'all want him to be? That'll be her boyfriend. I hope you make them. And if you make them, I hope you share pictures, right? Y'all know about the Creative Crew. That's the easiest place to share your pictures with everybody all at one time. So if you have Facebook, there's a link to the Creative Crew down in the description box below, right? Jump on over there and share your block. Yeah, I'm going to hang these up, let's see, through Thanksgiving, probably till the week after Thanksgiving, before I take them down and start making way for maybe some Christmas themed towels, right? But yeah, super, super cute, and I love him. Yeah, I'm going to go hang him up right now. Okay, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. It feels like I should be sleeping right now. It feels like I am up past my bedtime. He's still grooming and making himself beautiful. He's so loud when he does that. It feels like I'm up past my bedtime. Thanks for hanging out with me in the dark. And maybe we should do some nighttime videos and be like, in the dark, sewing in the dark. I tend to get silly at night though. Y'all don't want me to do that. Okay, everybody, I am gonna go make myself some dinner. Yeah, I can't wait to see you next week, okay? Bye, everybody.